Hello and welcome to Let's Talk About It. This is your host, Taylor, and today I have a very, very personal episode that I will be sharing with you all. This interview was done last week, and before I share that interview, I want to touch on some of the events that have started off this week and then just get into a little bit about what this episode's going to be. So today, I'm going to be sharing an interview, or not even really an interview, a conversation where I balance being both host and guest that I had with my siblings last week. And I know many of you are probably like, wait, what? Like she's a sister? What? And I haven't been super vocal about, this part of my identity, as it has been one that I have still been navigating and still been figuring out for several years now. And so I guess I just want to give a little bit of background, for some of you who have maybe listened to the episodes with Rob, who's my chosen father, the episodes about the first one that I did on being biracial, talking about Father's Day, had him on as well. But as many of you know, I'm biracial, I'm Black and I'm white. And when I was about 4 or 5 years old, my mom is white, my dad is Black. My mom moved me out of South Jersey. The area we're from is like the poorest county in all of Jersey. There's not a lot there. And she grew up there and really didn't want me to, have that life. She wanted me to have a better life than what she had. And so her and my grandma, my mom, moved me out to Seattle, Washington. And at that time, she had just turned 20. My dad was just finishing high school when I was born, and they really didn't know what they were doing, obviously. They were so young when they had me. But, my dad wasn't super in the picture. He was trying to make a better life for himself as well by trying to go to school, and unfortunately just didn't have the resources to continue putting himself through school. So he ended back home. But when my mom moved me, she didn't tell anyone where she was going. So Joe, my biological dad, his family had no idea what happened to me. This would have been, I was born in 93, so maybe it would have been like 97 or 98. And yeah, there wasn't social media like there is today. And it was just kind of like I had poofed up and gone. So majority of my life, I grew up as an only child. I grew up not knowing anything about that side of my family and not knowing anything about even the Black community or really Black culture other than what was shown in media. And even that, the majority of the media I consumed was with my white mom and white stepdad. So this is just a little bit of background. When I then was in middle school and was contacted via MySpace from some of my aunts was when I had kind of started to learn that. But at the same time that was happening, I was experiencing all kind of racial trauma in South Carolina and just was so confused with life. So there's so much to unpack here. But yeah. I guess in today's episode, you're going to hear from three of my siblings, from my younger sister, two of my younger sisters, and my younger brother. And I, as always, encourage y'all to listen with open ears, open hearts, and open minds. This episode, as I'm recording this introduction, it's Monday, April 12th, and I've also just learned about the news of Dante and everything that's happening in Minnesota. We're on the third week of the Chauvin trial, and it's just a lot for the Black community. It's a lot. It's always been a lot. The last 12 months have been really intense. As I even just reflect back on, what the last 12 months have been for me. It's just been constant fight or flight mode, mainly fight mode, feeling the need to protect and feeling the need to, find safety, this feeling of being under attack or under threat of external forces just because of the identities that you hold. And already seeing the deflection and the numbness to another young Black man being murdered by police. And it's devastating. It's absolutely heartbreaking. And, every week it feels like that we hear, every other day it feels like that we hear about the news of another young Black person being gunned down and murdered by police and not receiving justice is a reminder of just this sense that your life is dispensable. And it feels especially heartbreaking. Sorry, I did not turn my phone on vibrate before recording this. But this episode feels really vulnerable for me to share publicly. Sharing my siblings who are so fantastic, and I love them so much. It's been a really interesting experience developing relationships with them as an adult. And I love their openness and vulnerability in coming on the podcast and recording this with me. So major thank you to them again. I don't know. There's a lot to say, and I think I'm still just, as many folks in the Black community dealing with trauma and also still trying to, do their work, just still trying to go about day to day while still sitting with the trauma of just living in this state with all the systems of white supremacy that we have, and how seriously damaging and threatening they are to our lives. So, it's hard for me to form words thinking about all of this and knowing everything that's happening. But I guess I'll just take a deep breath here. And I did do a post about Dante as well that has some resources and whatnot. So please check that out. And please do whatever you can to advocate, to reform, to help defund the police. I'm going to stop myself here before I just continue down a whole thing. Please, as we go into this episode celebrating National Siblings Day, listen with open ears, open mind, and open heart. You might feel uncomfortable. You might see me in a little bit of a different light, as you will be seeing me in a very different position, being a sister and also like being a host, but being a guest at the same time. In the future, if I were to do this, I would have someone else host it. And hopefully in the future be able to, share some of the experiences of my other siblings who were not able to make this recording. So without any more of me ranting and jumbling over my words, happy National Siblings Day to anyone who considers themselves to be a sister or a brother, or I'm trying to think of what that would be in non-binary terms. And I don't know, is sister and brother already non-binary? Feels like gender is attached to those. So this is where my train of thought goes. But anyone, who identifies as being a sibling, and having that experience or feeling like they've lacked that experience, but have that identity or have that part of their life. My heart goes out to you. And thank you again to my siblings for coming on. So let's talk about National Siblings Day. All right, so I'm joined by 3 of my siblings, and I'm going to have y'all introduce yourselves and share. I feel like throughout this, we might need to go through like a whole actual family tree because there's a lot of us. Doom, do you want to start off introducing yourself?
Yeah, my name's Quantre. I was born in New Jersey to Joseph Willis and Kanisha Allen. That's my mom's name. I'm 23. Taylor, my sister. These are all my sisters right here. There's plenty more of us.
Mm-hmm. And you're in Iowa.
And I'm living in Iowa right now. I was born and raised in Bridgeton, but
yeah.
Okay.
What's the year? name is Tahira. I'm 26. I was born in New Jersey. I live in Bridgeton. Y'all know these are my siblings. I was born into this world from Joe Willis and Leslie Winder. And I got a kid. I have a daughter.
And how old is she?
She's 5. And that's it. I'm just one of the puppies out of the litter.
Okay. Hi, my name is Rashima. I live in New Jersey. I was born and raised in Bridgeton. I'm 22. I'll be 23 the end of this month. Woohoo! My Jordan year. My mom name is Takia Watson. I don't have no dad, but these are my siblings. And, that's it.
Bima, I love you.
I love you too.
Yeah, what the fuck is, what's his name? What the fuck is his name? Jada dad. No.
Oh, Raheem Fires. That's my dad.
Yeah, that's
That's my dad.
I
I'm
mean,
named after him. I have his last name.
Talking like that.
I was about to say Rakim. I was just about to say Rakim. I'm like, no, that's not it.
So yes, I do have a dad.
Yeah.
But it's just not.
He's taking it there, Dad. Yeah, I had somebody raise me too. My stepdad, his name is James, but everybody call him Mikey Palmer.
Yeah.
And he's been since forever, since I could remember. He always been there.
Mm-hmm. And then you guys have siblings from your mom as well?
Yes, I have 2 brothers.
Yeah.
1 brother, 1 sister.
I got it from my mom.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then should we share also who else is not here? How many other people we have from our...
We got a set of twins.
Mm-hmm.
We have, it's really only
Cameron
us 3
and
girls.
Kayla.
Yeah, I was about to
say, only us 3 girls. It's all boys.
What about that little
That's
girl?
what I thought.
Well, yeah, I don't know. Since you want to be messy, it was a little girl that was supposed to be here. As you know, mama's babies, daddy's maybes. You'll never know with Joe, though.
Yeah.
I know we got 12. I know it's 12, as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought it was 10.
From, the youngest is how old?
Well, the youngest will be the little girl that we don't know for sure, because she should be probably every bit of 3, right, to here, if I'm not mistaken? 3 or 4. 3, for real.
3?
Yeah.
That's recent.
Yeah, real recent.
Little pretty baby.
She's very pretty. She's gorgeous.
Doom, you saw her?
Yeah, I saw a picture of her. Yeah, she beautiful. That was a year and a half ago, though. So she probably bigger now.
2 or 3. She's probably big now.
Yeah.
Okay.
I would like to meet her one day.
But we would never know if that's our sister.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. We got to get past that first.
Yeah. And then I'm the oldest. At least that's what Grandma says. But I think I've also heard that someone else is the oldest.
No, I think you are the oldest, and then it's Tate, right? Because Tate older than you see here, right?
Yes. Yeah. Hold on. You 28?
Yeah. I'll be 28 in July. But I think Tate was born in December, I think, from what I've heard.
Yeah, he is. Well, he was.
So, but I think he's older than me.
Yeah, I was about to say he older because ain't Tate already 28.
Yeah, Tate's the oldest. He's at work. I just was on the phone with him, Mansa here.
Okay, yeah. But I think he's also unsure if he's related.
Taylor was the oldest at first. I just knew their birthdays.
Yeah. Well, so there's a lot of us. 12 is the number? 12, 11?
Yes, it is 12. It's
okay.
12, 13. We probably got siblings all over the world. You'll never know what that means.
Yeah. So first, I want to just talk a little bit about all 3 of you grew up in Bridgeton. So you all grew up knowing each other. And
yeah, but we didn't know that we were siblings.
At different points.
Yeah. I was the one, I never knew that Doom was my brother. I never knew Tahira was my sister. It was at one point in time, me and Tahira did not like each other.
I thought she had a smart mouth like me, and I wanted to fight her.
Like, she used to be like, she got a smart mouth. Like, her mouth is so smart. And I used to be like, so.
Yeah. So not all growing up necessarily together, I think is like a really unique sibling experience that like most siblings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once,
I feel like, yeah.
that's when we started, being around each other. Once, or if we.
Sorry to hear. Can you say that again? You cut out a little.
We didn't grow up around each other until we was old enough, like, to know we all was siblings. But unless we was at grandma's house, that's how we all was around each other, at grandma's house.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I never really got to experience Hilda House, but if it wasn't for us being older and like, having common sense, we came together as one because our dad wasn't going to do it. Like, we would never, like, he would have never picked me up and said, we're going to Tahira House, or Doom, we about to go get Shima, or let's go do this, let's go do that. So we did it amongst each other. Like, we got together on our own time.
It was one point we worked together.
Yeah, we all worked together.
I really liked working with y'all.
I did too, because I used to boss you around. Doom, can you go do this? Doom.
Yeah, Wendy's was cool. I really enjoy working with y'all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, and so I think other than me, I think the twins grew up outside of Jersey. So I'm wondering, I mean, I've heard a little bit already, like from Doom, but I'm curious, what that experience is like as adults, getting to know each other now. And like, I grew up so far away from all of you. I grew up not even knowing any of you existed until Ashley, Joe's sister, reached out in like middle school. And even then was like, I don't know what's happening. What? I have a whole other side of my family. So yeah, I don't know. And Shima, sorry, go ahead, Tira.
No, I always knew that you was my sister. I just didn't know you because we was so little. I just knew that you moved far away. I didn't, like, we was babies back then. I mean, you was older than me, but I was a baby. But I knew that I had a sister named Taylor out there somewhere, but I didn't know, I didn't know nothing about you. I didn't know you, but I knew.
Mm-hmm. What'd that feel like for y'all? I mean, I hate it. I feel bad. And like, I think back, I'm like, I didn't have any choice.
It's a sad case because I'm not even going to lie. Like, growing up, I used to have the biggest crush on Tate, like the biggest crush on my own brother, and never knew he was my brother. What am I lying to hear? I had the biggest crush on Tate. Oh my God, y'all couldn't. Tate would walk past me. I've been done past that. I used to be so excited. Like, I seen Tate today, y'all. Like, for real. And that's sad. Like, it's sad.
Yeah.
You gotta be aware of stuff like too small to not be aware of stuff like that.
I have to ask people, like, when I go out and stuff, like, do y'all know Joe Willis? Like, is y'all related to him? Because, like, who's to say we might sleep with one of our cousins or something? Like, it's bad. Like, it's sad.
I remember when me and you first started talking, Shima, and we had that whole conversation about that, and of like, yeah, like, you grew up in Bristol. Like, aren't you scared? Like, you're going to like date your brother or something?
Yeah, like I used to be like, look, girl, I straight tell people from the jump, is you know Joe Willis? Like, because that's who my real dad is. Like, let me know now. I don't want it to be a step and we done, did what we did, and it's too late now. I can't take it back. I messed with my cousin. But like, that never happened. Happy it didn't, but like, it's just fucked up.
Yeah, fucked up that like you even have to consider that as a possibility, as a reality. And I think, I mean, I really hate the fact that I wasn't able to be connected to y'all, and it sounds like even though y'all were all in the same place, you still didn't necessarily even know that you all were related. And so it's like I think about, like, there's so much of childhood and growing up that like we could have all shared experiences together, and we could have like grown up together. Like, do y'all ever think about that?
Yeah, I do. But I mean, like, I can't do nothing now. So I just be like, now that we know each other, You know, we can build a bond now. Like, we can't take, like, time is something you can't get back. So it's just like, I make memories with y'all now while I can, but I would have loved to grow up with y'all, you know, like do family things together, holidays, birthdays and stuff like that. But we were young. It's not our fault.
Yeah, honestly, it is all up to us. Like, I love being around all y'all. Like, whenever I do get able to be around y'all, I be like, man, these my sisters. Like, I know all my sisters beautiful. I be showing people y'all.
Don't hype me up. Don't hype me up. Don't hype me up.
Y'all probably had a couple people follow y'all that y'all don't even know.
I probably accept it, especially if we only got like 2 mutual friends.
They probably just follow me. My page is just there, so I don't even know. But like, I just wish we could have grown up together. Like, what it would have been like to have 12 siblings. Like, oh my God, like to grow up, be like, how would it have been to be at Hilda's house? Like everybody at grandma's house on, you know, Christmas, like we all there waking up, opening presents. Like, you know, like I don't know. It's just always been me and my 2 brothers. So like, you know, and like Tahira said, like I always had a smart mouth. So like if somebody would walk up to me and be like, oh, Joe Willis, your dad. And I'd be like, no, that's not my dad. My dad's name is Raheem Byers. Or like when Doom walked up to me one day, I remember like it was yesterday, we was kids. We was at a birthday party at the skating ring. And he walked up to me and was like, you my sister. And I was like, no, I'm not your sister. I don't know you. Like, who are you?
My mom told me, like, my mom told me to come up and talk to you. I didn't really want to do it because I'm like...
Doom was so shy. He was just like, hey, my name is Doom. I'm like, I know you.
You should have seen me before she told me to go. I'm like, nah, like, I was like, you know, because you kind of looked like you was me. I probably, if I was shy for a reason, like, I'm like, she might snap at me.
I know my face probably was screwed up. Like, what?
Yeah, so I'm like, I was just like, why she ain't coming up to me? Like, type, that's kind of how I was thinking when I was little, but.
Because I didn't know, like, oh, that's my brother. Like, oh, Doom's your brother. No, all I know is AZ and Jada. Like, that's just what I grew up knowing.
It could have been done a lot differently.
Yeah. It's interesting for me to hear that was part of how y'all met. I hadn't heard that before because I think when I was first introduced, or like when I first like got knowledge that I had siblings and got in contact with some of you, you know, it was like, oh, like you're my sister. And I mean, you guys have other siblings like with your moms, but for me, I was raised as an only child. So even just the identity of being a sister, I was like, what? I'm not a sister. I'm not anyone. Like what? Like, I don't know how to be that. What is that? I don't know if that came across to any of you.
Yeah.
No, I just know when Doom was like, Shima, I remember the day when Doom told me about you, it was like, Shima. I'm like, yo, bro, he like, we got a white sister. I said, a white sister? He said, yeah. I said, what's her name? He was like, Taylor. And I was like, oh, okay. I'm like,
that's
a white sister.
Kind of how we looked at it, because that's all that was really given to us.
Yeah, like that was like, y'all got a white sister. Boom. That's just how it was. Like
they really explained it to us, like, no one really said like, oh, Joe at this point in his life was going with Crystal and whatever. No one really. Grandma probably had tried to tell me, like, because I was always at grandma's house. Like, I'd probably say out of all of us, this ain't no trophy or not, but I'll probably spend the most time over there. So she'll tell me a lot about Taylor. Like, she'll have, like, your picture with, like, these $2 bills in it. And, like, ever since till I get a little bit older. Yeah, so she'll tell me about, like, how Joe was with Crystal, and, you know, where she pretty much told me where you were. I think she knew at one point, you know. And I see, like, I used to see Tahira a lot when I was little. I knew Tahira real early.
I never was over there. I wasn't allowed. My mom didn't allow me to go there because Joe was not my dad. I have a dad, so that's just how I was brought up, and that's just, like, why I never, like, they look at me like, oh, that's the one with the smart mouth. Like, she gonna get smart. She don't bite her tongue. And which I don't. And, like, I don't know. It's just, I have my dad's side of the family personality. Like, I could say one thing to my aunt, my dad's sister, and she'll know I'm playing, versus if I say something to Ashley or Tiffany or somebody, they'll think I'm being disrespectful probably, or like, oh, her mouth's so smart. But it's not me being smart. Y'all just don't know me. Y'all know of me.
narrative, they started to kind of use it, and I didn't like the narrative because it defeated us getting to know you.
That's why I stopped coming around, because it's like every time I come around, it's, don't talk to Shima. She might get smart. No, I'm not going to get smart. It's just, that's just how I talk. And if you can't accept that, then I don't know. I'm like, I'm not changing for nobody. So I stopped coming around, and I'm not kissing nobody ass either, because I have a family at the end of the day. But I would love to know my siblings more.
Mm-hmm. See, I feel like at the time that we met, and I want to get into that in a little bit too, but I don't think I had fully like stepped into my wholeness or felt confidence in fully being myself yet. But since then, as I have like grown into like who I am, I feel like I have a lot of that you have as well, of like people saying, you know, that you're just like a smart ass and, you know, you're going to like say all this shit. And it's like, no, that's just who you are. And you're not going to like shrink yourself down to make other people feel more comfortable.
Right.
But at the time, I think I definitely was like, yo, what the fuck is this girl saying? Like, I was like, excuse you.
I'm sorry. Like, that's just how I am. Like, that's just how I talk. Like, I don't know. Like, that's just me. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just never, like, I just always spoke my mind. Like, I don't bite my tongue.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and I appreciate that. I love that. And I think that's how we should be. We shouldn't have to bite our tongues. So I had never heard this story, so I have more questions here. But Doom, so you found out, I don't know, I think Tahira got...
You got to do something with Jern.
Okay, yeah. Her Wi-Fi was a little iffy, so I'm not sure.
No, she outside.
Okay. So maybe she'll pop back in. But learning that you had a white sister, can you share what your feelings, thoughts, assumptions all were when you learned that? Because I'm the only one that's
like, I was like, I swear I'm not gonna lie, I was like, oh, this bitch probably like a Britney Spears, or I swear, like
I did love me some Britney. I did love me some Britney.
Look, see, like I just was like, I was excited, like, because I never, like, you know, I was happy, like, oh my god, I got a white sister, like, oh bitch, yeah, like
I found excitement in it.
Yeah, I did too. Like, I was excited.
I probably was like, just didn't know that was possible. Like, you know, like I didn't. That's how I kind of. Yeah, I didn't really picture myself like, oh, this is what I have. Like, I didn't, because I'm not older than her, so like she already here. So I'm like learning that. You know, my dad was with a white woman. And we have, you know, and she was probably raised, you know, in the way that, you know, that I can't really call it. I wouldn't say white culture, or, you know what I'm saying. She just was raised by her white family. You know what I'm saying. So she's probably a lot different than how I would see, you know, probably people that I'm used to. So I was like ready to see you. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Because I knew you was my big sister. So, and then I see pictures of you. So I'm like, oh yeah, she probably cool as hell. Like, but I'm a little kid, you know what I'm saying? I just like anxious, like, you know, ready to see you.
And it was so crazy because it was like, I found out about you through Doom, and I met you before all of them. Like, I actually packed up that week and I went down there. And it was like, it was cool, but I was just like, we had made, remember the bacon soup, that cheddar, oh, it was so good. Doom, she had me eating like all this organic stuff. And I was just like, looking like, take me to McDonald's, Taylor. Like, just take me to McDonald's, please. Please. She was killing me. She
went over there before your party or after your party?
It was before my party. Then she came down.
I left to Iowa like a day before your party.
Yeah. Yeah, you did. I remember that. So,
and we had so much fun. Like, everybody was just like, who's that? And I was like, that's my sister. Like, my dad's side of the family was just like, oh, Shima, who that? And I was like, oh, that's my sister. They was like, oh, for real? And he was like, yeah.
I would have made like, that. I was sad I didn't make it.
My dad, like, he's like, you know, some people be like, oh, they might pull away. Like, that's my dad. I'm never going to take that away from him. Like, he wants me to, you know, build the bond with my other siblings. Like, he's okay with that. He actually told me, like, he felt like I should give Joe a chance. And I told him, like, me personally, I've done that. I've tried. I'm not doing it no more. I'm the child. At the end of the day, you should be trying to build a bond with me. Like, I cannot just basically come up and I can't walk up to Joe and say, hey, Dad, because You're not my dad.
So
Yeah.
even your sense of like, just speaking your mind and being honest, like I think that was part of what rubbed Joe the wrong way about me as well, because when he would message me or when we would attempt to talk, I think like literally
he
just
wanted
that
you to
one
call
time
him
in
dad.
person. Yeah, he wanted me to call him dad. And I was like, I'm sorry, but you're a stranger to me. And he was like, don't talk smack to your elders like that. And I was
That's
like,
him. That's him. Like,
bro,
that's him. That's how, Joe, I'm telling you, like, he'll be like, he'll text me and he'll say something and I'll be like, what's up, Joe? He'll be like, Joe, that's not my name. Stop playing with me. No, I'm not playing with you. Like, that's your name. Like, I don't feel comfortable. Like, it's sad to say, like, I really don't feel comfortable with calling you dad. Like, I don't.
Yeah. Well, I remember when you came, because this was, I think I was a sophomore in college. This would have been like 2012, I think it was. And I mean, first, I think I was so like trying to figure out how to even be a sister. And then also see.
But you did good for our first time when we first met. You didn't know what to do. It was like I came in the house and your ex was there and I remember him. And
we were still dating, yeah.
Yeah, he was like, sister. And I was like, brother. It was just like there. It was just like, it was so like welcoming. And then that's when them cats start coming. Ooh,
yeah, you were terrified of the foster kittens. You were like not having it. And I think I had like a litter of kittens that I was fostering in the garage. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That's the cat.
I can't get right.
Yeah. Well, and then like everything like we were eating, you were like not having it. You were like, what is this shit, Taylor? Like, and I was like, well, this is organic. This is from the farmer's market. And
like I go to the farmer's market. I pick up my egg from here. I do this. I go here. I'm like, girl. I was like, I swear I lie to you not. I was thinking to myself, like, I need a burger. A burger. But the soup was delicious. We tore that soup up on that. We was tearing with that. I'm telling you. Then the only thing I did like that she had that was candy wise was the organic lollipops. She tried to give me an organic Reese cup. I looked at that and said, girl, what is this? What is this?
It probably tastes just like a Reese cup though.
No, it was not good, dude.
I love Justin's peanut butter cups. Okay, they're so good. Do you remember this, that you nicknamed me, and which makes a lot more sense, obviously, and I've processed it since, but you like referred to me as Whitey. Do you remember this?
Yes, I did. I was like Whitey because she was just like, I don't know. She was just so proper. I'm like, girl, like, I don't know. I'm like, oh my gosh, she's a little Whitey. That's exactly what I said. Ian thought it was so funny. And then we was on the couch and we was like bonding and stuff. And it's so crazy because I'm like, all right, so I'm about to get in the shower. You gonna get in the shower? She started talking. You would never know though. Tell her don't shower every day, but you would never know because she don't smell. You would never know.
Because then I wasn't doing shit, but yeah, I wouldn't shower every day. No,
I don't shower every day.
Like struggling with depression at that time for sure in my life. Was not happy with myself. Yeah,
and I was just like,
to keep yourself occupied at that time.
Yeah, cats and farmers markets were my escape.
Because I'm like, tell her what you used to do when you were young. Like, what do you do? Like, Ian was just straight, whatever. Like, I already knew he was what he was. But she was trying to put on the goody. Like, hey, you ain't got to be goody. Listen, I'm coming from the ghetto. Like, I'm coming from Bridgeton. So I done seen it all. So I'm like, oh, what do you used to do? She was like, oh, I remember when I was 14 and I used to smoke. She called it pot, dude. We don't call it
pot.
She said I was smoking trees, and I would go. This how she was talking, and I would go to the Sonics, and then we would go to the park, and I'm like,
damn, Taylor, you used to smoke weed. How did you smoke weed? Y'all had a fat bong or some shit? Because I know y'all wasn't rolling Dutches, like.
No, yeah, people would. They would roll blunts.
Oh, word.
And we'd go to the park in South Carolina when I was in middle school. We would go to the park and we'd smoke either out of an apple, out of a blunt, or like a water bottle.
What? You was super high up?
I was super high up then, for sure. I did a gravity bong on like my 14th
Oh, shit.
birthday.
She told me she was
and
14 smoking.
fucked me up. I did that gravity
Yeah,
bong, and ever since then, I have like not smoked. Like I smoked a little bit in high school and a very, very small amount. I think once or twice in like my
like
freshman year.
partying, like on some partying shit.
Yeah,
Occasional
but it was
party.
definitely not after that gravity bong that really fucked me up. But yeah, I remember like Shima, you saying all of that and like call me Whitey, and then I was like, okay. I don't know who I am then. I don't know what this is because, yeah, was raised by my whole white family.
Your family, like, your mom and them loved me when they first met me for your, what was it? You had I met her. Yeah, what was it? What did we come down there for again? It was something with you graduating, I think, right?
Yeah, so you came my sophomore year. That was when like we had the sleepover. And then I think I went to Jersey for your party.
And then I came back with
and then you came back with one of our aunts for my graduation party. I graduated in 3 years, so it would have been the following year, technically my junior year, but I graduated and you and Ashley came down for my graduation party with my whole white family. And actually had a very interesting conversation with my grandma.
It was fun.
Yeah, I had a very interesting conversation with my grandma a few weeks ago about that because I've been talking to Hilda, our grandma, and my mom was saying, yeah, I remember they came down to the party and, I was really surprised that they came. And, I kind of felt bad because I thought maybe they were uncomfortable being there and, they kind of like stayed out on the back patio, but was really happy that they came and that you were able to have them there.
Yeah, it was your aunt, I believe, and they thought I was like grown. They thought I was like 20 something. And I was like, no, I'm every bit of 16.
Yeah.
They was like, you want to drink? I said, I can't drink.
Well, that's also just the Nolans. There's a lot of drinking.
And it was some type of hors d'oeuvres y'all had. We was tearing them things up.
Yep. The things that like you were recognizing in me when you came to sleep over, like my mom was like just the exaggerated version of that at that graduation party. Like she had all the little hors d'oeuvres, all the labels and all the things.
She was there and it was nice. Like as soon as we came, it was like welcome. And it wasn't like, oh, funny, like, oh my God. Like it wasn't that. It was just, we had fun.
Yeah.
And they was like, oh, Taylor, this is your sister. She's so beautiful. They kept saying she's so beautiful. I was like, thank you.
You're like, I know. So I'm curious then, like you all have had like assumptions about some of our siblings before knowing that they were your siblings. And I'm curious how those assumptions were like matched maybe when you all met me, like what that looked like. Like if I was what you thought I was when you met me.
When I first got some kind of way to talk to you, I pretty much was like, all right, you ain't have the slang. Like I pretty much knew like, all right, she raised by a white family. I had some bit of manners and I know how to just ask, hi, how are you? You know what I'm saying? So I don't remember, when was our first time talking? How was it? Was
it in Jersey?
No, Taylor was stuck up when we first reached out to her.
I'm saying I met her in Iowa. That was the first time meeting her in person.
When you met her.
We met in Iowa. That would have been.
But reaching out, it was like, girl, it was like, I felt like by now, bitch, I'm not about to keep kissing your ass to talk to me. Listen, either we're going to build this bond or we just going to be brothers and sisters and we're not going to know each other. That's just what it was. That's how I was looking at it. Because when you told me about it.
Uncomfortable at first. Yeah,
she was uncomfortable. And I was
was trying to come like open arms. My bad to cut you off.
Yeah, it was like we was just trying to, because we were excited to like know that we had a white sister and wanted to know like, oh, well, let's get to know her. Like, maybe we can go visit her.
And I had like my walls up.
Yeah, like your walls were so up. So I'm like, doom. I straight told them, I'm like, I ain't kissing her.
Yeah, every time people would say that, like we were like trying to gang up on you. Like
I was like listen,
bring your guard down.
I'm not. If she don't respond back, I'm not doing it. So like it is.
And that's what Shima was on, because Shima's patience was running low. And I'm trying to be the optimistic.
They was dumb. Yeah. No, I'm like, boom, I'm telling you now, like, I'm not going to keep hitting her up. I don't, listen, at the end of the day, I did what I could do. I let her know I'm her sister. If we meet one day, we meet. If we don't, we don't. That's just where I was at with it right now. Like, I'm done. It was over with. Like, and then you came down. I think you said you had a talk with your mom or something. I don't know. You had said something like, I don't know. But I remember you texting me back and you was upset because Doom gave me your number. I remember. And then I was like, look, Doom, I don't know. I don't think I could get down and tell her.
Yeah, I was freaked out because I was like, I mean, in middle school when like the aunts reached out via MySpace, it was just really intense. It was just like, and even Joe, you know, like, I'm your father. Like, what, don't you want to meet me? Don't you want to meet your father? And I was like,
I would have said no, bitch.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I was saying. I was like, I've never really had no, I don't know.
And I would see it because I would see how he talked to Shima and you and probably like, because Joel don't like him. I see how he be talking to y'all. He kind of did that with me, but like I was around so much, like but the thing is, I was around, but he still was absent. He didn't really teach me what he was supposed to, even though I wasn't. Grandma, I'd say Grandma did what he was supposed to do.
Remember what you told me doing? Remember when you was like, how you see my dad used to ride his bike and take Jada to football practices and be like making sure.
Yeah.
And he was like, you wish you had that with Joe. Like that's what you was wanting, and that's what you was looking for, like in a father.
Yeah, Shima's the guy she do call her dad, like her little brother, every day of my life, because Grandma lived in the same spot, and that same trail is to go to football practice. So Shima's little brother, and he real good. He in college. He's the fucking beast. I knew he was gonna be a beast because his dad.
He's the goat.
Like to practice. That's why I knew Jada was gonna be something. I'm like, damn, like I would ride with Joe here and there. He go to his friends and they go smoke weed. They do whatever they doing, but like I would just be around him, like his little.
I just look at Joe like I'm not trying to bash him. I just look at him like a friend. Like that's just how I look at him, like a friend, because like I feel as though like instead of you texting or reaching out to your child and saying, hey, let's go have dinner or let's go to lunch, you will say, pull up, let's roll up, let's drink, let's get a bottle. Yeah. That's what friends do.
Well, like, because he doesn't know how to
never, like right now, I swear I would never be able to call Raheem and say, hey, Dad, let's go to the bar and have a drink. He'd be like, what? Like, girl, Shima, stop playing on my phone like and hang up on me. Like, the only way I would ever probably get my dad to have a drink for me is if we're at a family function and I'm already drinking and he got something in his hand and I heard him like, oh, now we got to drink together. But other than that, he not with that.
Well, so then how do y'all feel like with like your older siblings? Like, I think for me, part of me, even when you had came for the sleepover, Shima, it was like, I think at that time, I remember you almost being like, well, but Taylor, but Joe is your dad. And I was like, he's not my fucking dad. And you were like, yeah, but Taylor, like you got to have like a relationship with your dad, where I was like, I don't, Shima.
I was just trying to figure like what's going on. Cause that's how he was. I'm like, well, do you want a relationship like that? Is your dad? Like, do you want to meet him? Like, I don't know. Cause like, it just was like, I don't know. Like to what I was told, because in Hilda's eyes, her son does no wrong.
Yeah.
So I was told that he was a good dad to you. Your mom basically just left, took you and didn't tell nothing to nobody. Like nobody knew where you were. So like you just up and left. Like Joe was a dad to you and your mom took you away.
Yeah.
Like that's what I was told. I was told that your mom left. Your mom took you. Joe didn't know where you were at, whatever the case may be. Like, you know, so.
And she did. And they didn't know where I went. But he wasn't present in my life when I was there. But I think like knowing that we're all connected through this lack of a father figure, like when I first got connected to you, I was processing like, in a way it feels so foreign, but also at the same time wanting to like be that nurturing bigger sister. And even for like Doom, you know, I think we've talked about this in terms of like the younger siblings of like feeling like you have to, you know, care for them and feeling, you know, you want to almost help fulfill that like fatherly role for them, where I'm like, like you need to be your own adult human as well. And like, you can't make up for Joe's failures as dad. And I think it, you know, I think it makes it so that we lean on each other in different ways, or, you know, for y'all being in Bridgeton all together, you know, too, being able to like bond over that, being able to feel seen and being able to like have that comfort in a way of knowing like you're not alone with having this like shit fucking, you know, role model of a father.
But it's like, how could I say it? How could I put it?
Put it how it is.
I'm trying to think, because like it'd be times where like I was like Mimir used to be like, you my sister, and I used to be like, nah, like I'm not your sister, like I'm your sister, like, you know, like the only way that we really didn't hang with each other like how we do now until we got older, because we all like, Doom was always at Hilda's. I was always with my other brothers. My other brothers.
It's like you have your own individual family.
Yeah, like we had our own individual family. So it was just like, you know, just because we were in Bristol and knew that we were siblings, we really didn't bond together like we do now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I imagine, I mean, for y'all, because like I don't have any other siblings that I grew up with. So it's like, what's it feel like to be a sister, to be a brother with your mother's side versus your father's side?
Sister at heart.
You're a football sister.
I'm going to show you something.
I always felt like I had a big sister with Tahira. I really didn't build my relationship with Tate prior to I was like, I met Tate like 5th, 6th grade. My cousin is related to him, and he would bring me to his house. Like, oh, you my brother. And we was smoking. Like, I'll go over there with, you know, LJ Shima. He would bring me to Tate house, and we'll just sit there and smoke. I was probably like 6th grade.
I'm a football sister at heart. I love it.
Shima's got this whole poster. That is all your brother, all of his football stuff?
Yeah.
Yes, that's when he was a kid. Right there.
And this is your younger or older?
This is my younger brother.
Oh my goodness.
That's the one
who are a football sister.
Taking him to practice. I seen him every day on the bike.
Yes, I'm a football sister at heart. Let me see. I don't know, but yeah, I love it. I love being a football sister. Yes, I do.
He had a daughter or a son.
He's having a girl. He's having a little girl.
Mm-hmm. That's so sweet.
Booger.
Yeah, it sounds like, I mean, it's different bonds, because it's like when it's with your maternal side, you know, you're growing up with that, versus with us, you have to like intentionally as an adult go to make those relationships and create those spaces. And I know I have not always been the best at creating those spaces for us. And part of me definitely questions, you know, being the oldest or the closest to oldest, you know, how do I do that for all of us while also still in some ways feeling like I'm a little bit othered, you know, like I am, you know, the white sister. So it's like, I don't know. How do I then bring all of us together?
It's like, it's not your fault because of the predicaments. You know, they were the adults at the time. So they dictated what was going to go on.
We grew up. Yeah, like.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not really your fault. I bet, like, say if you was in, you know, North Jersey or something, I feel like something could have happened, you know, but it wasn't no social media or none of that until a certain time when you MySpace. So, you know what I'm saying?
I feel like it's his fault. It's his fault that we all don't have memories together. It's his fault that we don't really know each other. It's his fault that it's just his fault. And I tell him all the time, like, bro, don't play in my face. Like, when they want Joe to, when they want Joe to get cussed out, who y'all call Doom?
Shima would be the first one. Shima like really tell him like some derogatory things. Like she don't give a fuck.
It's a good thing I don't talk to him, because I'd be saying the same shit you're saying.
It's like,
it's just like, I
don't know that he needs to hear it twice.
I grew up as a kid, like I grew up where I'm from. Like I grew up everywhere I went, I always heard like, oh, you look like Hilda, you look like Ashley, you look like Joe. Is Joe Willis your dad? Oh, I be in the grocery store. Oh, what's your name? Who your dad? Joe Willis your dad? Joe your dad? And I'll be like, no, my dad is Raheem. Like, what are you talking about? So it's just like, as I got older, I used to tell my mom, and I'm like, they keep asking me, is Joe my dad? And my mom like, oh, no, that's not your dad. Like, that's not like, and she still says this till today. Like right now, if I call my mom and be like, Mom, who my dad? Joe my dad? She's like, that ain't your motherfucking dad. Fuck him. Fuck Joe. Like, for real. So like, I grew up with like daddy issues. Like, that's something like I tell anybody, like, I don't play that. Like, don't call him my dad because like, that's not my dad. Like, and I used to get in my feelings about it. Like, I used to cry. Like, I used to be upset. Like, I used to hate that everywhere I go, they'd be like, oh, you look like Joe. Like, I hated that. I still hate it. Like, I don't play that shit at all. Like,
I could see that too, because like someone who
we girls have
put no effort into you, it's like someone who don't. I could understand it for you, like someone who don't put no effort into you, and everybody make you feel a certain type of way. It's real weird.
And that's why you are going to be incredibly present in your daughter Nova's life.
Nova got an amazing dad.
That's right.
And it's just crazy because I just be like, yo, like, and even when I talk to him, I be like, yo, you make all your kids, like, they all hate you. It's sad to say that I can't count on my hands to tell you any of his kids that really, like, fuck with him. Like, oh, I love my dad. Oh, no. And it's sad because I do have love for Joe, and I don't know him. And it's fucked up because how can you love somebody that you don't know?
Yeah.
They're getting older. They're getting older. Like, Joel, he got his own, like,
Joel raps. He's a rapper.
Yeah,
I saw that on social. I was like, oh shit, look at him.
And
he
their
always
music be like little hits though.
Yeah.
Him and his girlfriends. It's just like none of your younger sons, like you have sons, like like, you got talented kids. Like, I don't know what the twins and them do. Like, I don't know if they really play sports. Like, I don't know what Kwame do. Like, we don't know what they do, but Joe, you have all younger sons that you actually should take the time out to be in their life. Like, you don't do nothing. Like, you don't do nothing.
Yeah. Well, I remember, like, even just, getting in contact with Doom and, like, when we met up in Iowa, just feeling so disappointed and feeling like so much resentment. Like, I don't think I really felt resentment or frustration towards Joe growing up at all. It wasn't until, honestly, building relationships with my siblings, with you guys, that I got so angry and felt so fucking pissed that, like, I remember Jimmy told me, like, he was driving with you. You were still like a teen and he like had drugs in the car. And I was like, if this motherfucker is going to put you in the car and he's your fucking dad and he's putting your entire fucking future at risk. Like, I literally felt like I was about to go down there and like whoop his ass. Like, I was just like, what is wrong with you? I was
like, in his eyes, he feel as though like, I feel like in his eyes, I think he feel as though like we have to respect him. We have to build about him. Like, we as his kids, we have to come to him. Well, no, because you.
And I say, you got to earn that respect.
You got to earn that
the title of being a father.
Yeah.
You got to earn it.
Never put the effort to get something going for his life. That's where I will always be confused at. Like, where is your, like, it could have went from 2000 to now, like anywhere from 2000 to now. But he was still making kids like 2005. Remember, was born like 03 or 02 or some shit.
Yeah, like, you was still making kids and you wasn't even taking care of the ones that you already had. So it was just like, you done up to me. Like, I feel as though.
I think that was in one of my either messaging conversations or when I had gone over to Hilda's house with him, I like asked about like condoms. Like, I was just like, what about condoms? And he was just not having it. And
he probably thought you was being disrespectful. Yeah. He probably didn't want to hear it. He walked away. I ain't trying to hear what you got to say. I already know how it goes because I used to tell his friends and I'm like, he'll get around his friends and be like, oh, baby girl, no, bitch, and no. Pause all of that. Like, no, we're not even about to put this on this show for them as if you're the best dad in the world. No. Yeah. He asked me could he be at my Sweet 16. I told him, no, I'm not doing no father, daddy, daughter dance with you.
Chris, when I came there, Crystal took his phone so he couldn't take no pictures with Nova. Because he don't take no pictures with Journey.
He don't take pictures with Loyalty or London. He has
or Loyalty in London. And I felt that way too. I ain't gonna hold y'all. I ain't know what I would have said right then and there. I would have felt disrespected. I feel like I would have I either would have not blacked out, but like got real like upset, or I wouldn't have said nothing. It didn't. Luckily, it didn't happen. Cause
I just feel as though like you already abandoned your kids, so why do it to the grandkids? Be the best grandpa you can be to your grandkids. Go pick your grandkids up and take them to get ice cream.
I didn't want to accept the gifts he gave Nova because I'm like, I didn't ask him, but like, what have you gotten for Journey, Loyalty in London? Like, I don't like that. Don't treat Nova no better than them. You been had grandkids, you know what I'm saying? I don't like that shit.
His grandkids is his nieces.
That shit weird.
It's sad to say he treat his nieces that he has, Charlie kids, better than his grandkids.
He feel like because it's easy. He probably feel like it's easy to get to him. He don't even probably want to feel the cuss outs that he, got waiting for him.
Well,
it's not even
responsibility.
Cuss outs. It's like all they got to take is one phone call. Hey, Tahir, put Jerns some sneakers and clothes on. I'm about to come take her to get ice cream. Or, hey, Tate, can I get Loyalty in London for a few? Or can I stop by and see them? Like, what?
It's the responsibility piece. He feels less responsibility
he
for
don't communicate.
his sister's
it's lack
kids.
Of communication.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I think a few minutes ago, one of you said, like, it's not like he really ever tried to make something of his life and like why keep having kids after, a decade goes by and you're still having kids when you're not taking care of the kids you already have. I think from what I've heard about around the time that I was born, he had just graduated high school when I was born and had plans to go up to North Jersey for community college.
He did go to college and came home and didn't go fuck back.
Yes. So I think he tried to go and he tried to, get an education and improve his life and make something of his life. But when he came back to Jersey, or came back to South Jersey, fell back into selling drugs and just kind of staying around and probably, not having to have those responsibilities. But part of me, as I process this, I'm like, I think me being born, like, really fucked him up. Like, I think that just that start of it and then me going away as well, like, would have fucked him up. But then I guess he was having to hear, like, 2 years after me, and I was still in Jersey. So
yeah, he was still making kids. Like, he made Tate, then you.
It's repeating pathology.
Tate, first of all, it's not even within you. Tate is the oldest, so it really started with Tate.
Yeah.
Then it was you. Then it was Tahir. Then it was Doom. Then it was me.
Yeah.
Then it was Mimir. And
JoJo.
JoJo. Then Mimir.
No, Mimir older than JoJo.
Oh yeah, well it was Mimir, then JoJo, then.
Y'all, I need a genogram. I need a family tree drawn out.
No, for real.
How does it feel for you all, like, between the siblings that we have? Like, how do you think you show up as a sister or as a brother?
I feel like I'll be like, when me and Doom used to be in school together, like, and work together, like, I was the mom. Like, I was Doom's mom. Like, I used to keep Doom on track. Like, for graduation, Doom was asleep. I called that phone and
You were asleep?
For graduation grass practice, because he was working a lot.
Yeah, I was closing a lot my senior
year. He was closing.
I ain't had no, because I had moved out my mom's crib. I was staying with Grandma Hilda, but wasn't nobody going to give me no money, so.
And I was just like, Doom, where is you at? Get up. Like,
on top of that.
I stayed on top of Doom. Like, I feel like I'm going to be like, we all was to actually, like, be in one room together. I probably be like the mom of the group, but also the fun one, like, and I don't tolerate
cool
disrespect. Mom. Yeah, I'm the cool one. Like, I feel like you and Mimir look like y'all resemble each other so much.
Who?
And then it's just like Taylor and Mimir, they look alike to me. And then it's like me, you, and Kwame. That's just how I look at it. Like, we all like resemble each other in some type of way.
I gotta charge my phone for a second. I ain't gonna be able to talk. Just chop it up. I'm right here though.
All right.
I was gonna say, similar to you, feeling that like kind of motherly vibe going on about being a sister. Like, I think, you know, when I first met Doom and I was like, okay, yeah, like I got brothers. Like, I don't want them out here like repeating Joe's pathology and like out here just fucking around. And I was like, Doom, all right, we're going to talk about condoms. We're going to talk about like pulling out. Like, we're going to talk about plan B. I was like, do you need resources? Like, we can talk about these things. You know, you do not have to follow in the same footsteps as Joe. And feeling just really like, knowing that's not my responsibility, but feeling like, how do I be a sister? That feels like part of that responsibility.
Right. I just told them, like, you know, I told Doom and Evans when I met Nova, I said, she trapped you, bro. And they was cracking up. They thought it was so funny. Like, it was so funny. Like, when I got in the car, Nova instantly, like, she looked at me, she looked at Doom, then she looked back at me, and then she looked at Doom, and she looked at me again, and she grabbed my face. And it was just on from there. Like, it was just up. Mm-hmm. Like, she was looking at me like, oh, my God, this girl look like my dad. Like, who is this? Mm-hmm. And then she was looking, and I'm looking at her like, hi, I'm your auntie. Like, and it was just like, Nova. But we do got a lot of brothers, and we about to be some aunties because we got some handsome brothers.
Well, yeah, for sure. Well, I texted JoJo the other day.
JoJo is my stinky, but that's my baby. He missed me. He was just talking the other day too.
Yeah, he's so sweet. And it's where I'm like, you know, it's so fucking weird that it's like, as adults, you know, it's like you're making friends, but they're like your siblings. So it's like just so different. But he's so sweet, and I'm just like, let me bring you under my arm here. Like, I just
like let me hug you.
Yeah,
it's crazy because me and him had conversations and stuff, and he was just telling me like he would, like, if him and Joe like was to have words, like he don't know like how it will go. Like, it will go bad. Like, it wouldn't be good.
Yeah. Well, I texted JoJo on Friday because we were supposed to chat, and he told me he had a girlfriend, and I said, who? I said, excuse me, who?
Yeah, he told me he had a girlfriend.
Yeah, and I just texted him randomly, and I just said, condoms greater than babies.
Right. Like,
and he was like, all right. And he was like, we are, but that's funny. And I was like, lube plus condom greater than raw plus babies.
Right. For real, because
as we have Nova here on our screen.
Hi, Nova, my beautiful niece. That's my Nova. Hi.
Doom, can you hear us?
Yeah, he can hear us.
Okay. I have a question for you, if you're going to be able to answer and put your headphones on. But I'm wondering what it's like for you to have us as sisters and be like on you, like before Nova, of like, wear condoms. Don't repeat Joe. Like, you don't have to follow into that same pathology. You know, what that experience felt like for you.
So my mom didn't have my sister. She had like a disease or condition. So she was always raised by her grandmother on her dad's side. So I was kind of grew up like an only child. So when I did really get into it with y'all, I got that first, like, that sisterly love because I was with Tahira a lot when I was younger. So I would always see Tahira, like, I could just, right now, to this day, I could just ball up in Tahira's arms, like, you know what I'm saying? She just, she give me that comfort. So, and then Shima would do it when we start getting into it more. I'm like, damn, like, you know, I grew up like, damn, I love my sisters, you know what I'm saying? I didn't have like a sense of regret. I just like a wish, like, damn, I wish we could have like grown up with each other. You know, we could have probably had like some better memories and stuff, you know, or been into some shit, you know. We could have been, you
like,
know,
doing some hood rat shit with my brothers and sisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We could have probably got in trouble together. That's what's up.
Right. We could have smoked some pot together, Taylor.
got our ass beat together. That's right, what I want.
Like, we could have did some things. Like, we could have put ketchup and mayonnaise on Doom's face when he was asleep. Like, you know, had sleepovers, draw
penises on his forehead. You
know?
Like,
do stuff, you know? So just like, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I'm happy that we actually came together amongst each other and made it work, you know, with you doing what you're doing and, you know, doing
I don't even know. What am I doing? What are we all doing?
No, I'm just saying like what you doing, like where you at, and you're like, you way across the world, just like he across the world. So it's like, in order for us to be with y'all, we would have to catch a flight. Me and Tahir, we're right here. Me, Tahir, and Tate, and Mimir, we all in Jersey.
Yeah. Well, I would love,
so hard. Getting older, and like y'all getting older, we all getting older, and I'm in
Doom, your phone messed up.
I can't hear you, Doom. Doom, we can't hear you.
He really needs to get his phone fixed.
I don't even think
he really still talking. Like
we can't hear you. I think you muted yourself.
Damn, I just tweaked. But nah,
you were going off, please, again.
Yeah, I was snapping.
We was loving it too.
Word. I was saying like I came out here like just basically to get away from Bristol because I would see how Joe would live his day-to-day life, and I didn't like it. Like I would see pretty much him, his friends or other uncles of mine go to jail. Everyone wants to, fuck and, do drugs, sell drugs, whatever it may be. And I didn't really want that for myself because these people didn't look like they were happy. I didn't know how to assess it at the time. Like what's a good life? What's a bad life? But I'm grateful I came here because I had my grandfather, my mom's dad, and he came up off a certain set of morals and he helped me get started with my life. So I would always rely on my grandfather.
It's so crazy you had to rely on your grandfather and you had a whole dad. And it's crazy because we could be like really needing something and like it'd be times where Doom would be like, Joe, I need something or whatever, because I don't really ask for nothing. And Joe would be like, I don't got it, but then to go on Facebook posting new Jordans, a bottle, and seafood when your son needed you to do something for school and you couldn't do it. Like, I don't understand. Like,
it's a real good thing. I was not
as forgiving as I was.
The funeral, grandma's funeral, he was all like, wavy and stuff. And he was like, I had cashed out myself $50 and to hear $20 because he had already gave her 20 before I came. So the next day, guess what? He texted my phone and said, yo, you took money off my Cash App. I need that back. Send me my money. I needed the money, whatever. I'll send him his money back because I don't need your money. I just told you like I knew you were going to ask for it back, but it should have just been, it is what it is.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he went to jail for not paying child support for like some of the other kids. I think my mom had heard that at some point and she was like, she never asked for anything because she didn't want to have to deal with him at all. But yeah, not the best example. And I mean, it makes my heart so warm and fuzzy and just a puddle to know at least that like, so far, I think none of the brothers are following in his footsteps.
Tate's a wonderful dad. Tate's an amazing dad with his kids. Loyalty in London. They just was in Puerto Rico. Tate's a real good father. Like he's a good dad.
Yeah.
Like
and Doom, you're a fantastic dad.
You look at him with his twin.
She's
little
so
Nova.
Cute.
Nova.
I would love, post-COVID vaccination, all of that, to be able to have all of us to be able to get together and actually like.
I'm sure. Can we come somewhere? I don't want to be nowhere in New Jersey. I will fly. I will go get swabbed today and come tomorrow. Like, I do not want to be in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because we need like a girl strip. Tell her like, I need this. I need to show you this. Like, I need to see your wild side. Because I know she get wild, dude. I know she do.
Okay, so then Shima, then I have to ask you, do you feel like who I am, do you feel like your assumptions or your experience of me, your perception of me from when we had that first sleepover is the same today?
No, you different. You changed. You were young, so I wasn't expecting to come and you be old. You were young, so it's like I was young. It wasn't like we could go to a club and do anything. I mean, like we probably could have, I don't know, but like no, I just know you changed. That's all. People change. It changes. But when I was looking, I was like, look at my sister. You go ahead, tell you coming out that shell. Go ahead, girl. Yes. I was rooting like about time. Like damn, the fuck.
With what?
With everything, because Doom, when I went down there, Taylor didn't do this. She didn't drink. She didn't go party.
I still don't drink.
I'm just saying, like, you didn't party. You didn't do anything. So I was just like, sis, you just sit in the house all day and nurture kitties. Like, you a cat mom?
I
like,
did.
That's just what you do? Like, so when I seen you, like, actually, like, you know, coming out your shell and, like, going out and, like, you know, doing things, I'm like, oh, my God, I can't wait to link with my sister. So when we get older, we can, you know, party, you know, take vacations and, like, do things. So, like, I was just happy with the change. It was, like, it was a big change.
Yeah. Am I still whitey?
No. Yeah, you got it.
You can say yes.
No.
You can say yes.
No, you're not. You're not.
Well, I love y'all, and I'm so sad that like things weren't different, but I am glad that we all are like making an effort to, not necessarily see each other right now, but to just be in each other's lives. Is there anything that y'all want to? I'm guessing Tahira is not able to log back on here.
Probably.
So. But if there's anything that y'all want to kind of leave off with, any last like thoughts or feelings about siblings?
I just feel like if we don't do it on our own, we will never know each other because Joe ain't gonna do it. So that's just where I'm gonna leave it at. I'm happy I got to meet you. You know, I don't know what else. We just going, let the time do its thing. Like I wish we could have grown up together.
Yeah.
Because think about it. You were the only child. I am the only girl. So I didn't have to hear like Doom had to hear. I have brothers. So I didn't,
Yeah. I know. And I know like back then you were so excited to like have like a sister. Like I remember like I felt it so intensely of like, she really wants me. Like she really sees me as like her sister. Like I'm her big sister.
I'm like, I got a big sister.
I was like,
excited. Like,
this is like such a responsibility. Yeah. I just had no idea.
Like, I don't know what to do. And like, I don't know. What are we going to do? I didn't care as long as I was with my sister. It was just like, I just wanted to bond because like time is something that you cannot get back.
Yeah.
You cannot get time back. And that's all I really asked for is like time. Like, that's all I really wanted from Joe was his time. Like, I don't need your money. Like, I want to make memories. Like, I feel like time is the key. And he didn't have that with none of us. It was like, on to the next. I made this kid. Boom. I'm on to the next. Like, you didn't get to actually bond with your kids. Like Doom said, he would come get Doom and he would drop him off to Hilda's. And he'll be up there with Hilda. Like, it was never, I'm about to pick Doom up and we about to go do this. We about to go to the mall or we about to go to the fair or the harvest festival. Yeah. Like, it was never that. Like, he never did anything. And you have sons. So you could have picked your little sons up when it was the fair and, like, holidays or, like, spring breaks and actually do something with them. You didn't do nothing. Or, like, if you were still here, he could have came and got me, you, and Tahir, and we could have did things like, oh, let me take my daughter and them to get their feet done. Like, he could have took us on our first date and showed us what it's like to actually, this is how you're supposed to get treated. If he not doing this, then don't do it. But
I don't even think he knows how to treat.
Nope.
Yeah. Because Grandpa Joe, he wasn't the best example to him either. Like, Grandpa Joe didn't treat Grandma Hilda with the utmost respect. Like, Grandma Hilda would tell me, like, it was other men that, she felt like she could have dated, but she felt like she loved Grandpa Joe. But even though he was doing drugs, selling them, just out being a wild boy. So and she didn't date nobody else
but him.
So Joe.
But I feel like Joe, that should make you not want to treat people like that. I feel like
well,
Joe wasn't really in
pathology. He's just repeating what's been modeled for him.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. So, okay, for example, like Doom, you said how he will always drop you off to Hilda's. You don't drop Noble off to your mom's and just go about your business?
Nah, yes, I move it a whole different way.
It made you not want to be like him because you see how his kids grew up and they all hate him. And it's sad. Like, all the little ones, they really hate him.
Damn.
Like, I cannot name one person that can actually say, oh, I love my dad. Or, well, we all love him, but, like, I will, like, a fan of him. Like, none of them, they're not fans of him. Like, they don't even be wanting to go with him. Like, and it's fucked up.
Me at this age, how I approach him, when I do talk to him, because he probably see a little bit of me and him because we kind of look alike, but I don't really move like how he did. But I just try to see where he at in his head all the time, like especially with what a little bit I study in school, like psychology. You pick people's brain as far as that. He don't like
that.
He don't really strive for like new stuff. As I could see from recently when I just came there, you know, he'd talk like a couple 3 ideas, but he don't really put effort into his ideas. He'll really take the easy way out. And plus, like right now, currently, he got this weird girlfriend. And so I don't know what he finna do because he about 50. You ain't gonna have much energy in a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
She wanna look outside.
He gonna be so mad at us when he hear this podcast, and I don't care.
I done basically said most of everything on here that I done said to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like I don't give a shit.
I don't think I have not spoken to him since I met him that day when I was 18, 19, when I met him. So.
Yeah. It's crazy though.
Yeah.
There's of us, like, I do eventually want to get us all to, well, not just me, but like, we could link and do something, you know what I'm saying? And then try to more strides for it later on in the years.
Right. Yeah, I agree. Well, any other thoughts before I stop this recording? Anything else that y'all want to like talk about or ask or share about being siblings?
Yeah, I don't have nothing.
I can't really think. Did you have any like assumptions about us? Like, did you kind of like
how was it growing up being the only child? Like, how was that? Like,
yeah.
I didn't, growing up as an only child and with a single parent, my mom was my best friend. She felt like she was my sister. She felt like she was my mom and my dad. So I think it wasn't until like I was maybe in like 5th grade or 4th grade that I was kind of like, oh, like I wanted to be like a bigger sister.
right.
She did try to have another kid with my stepdad when I was in middle school, and they did IVF. They did the fertility treatments and everything, but it didn't work. Mm-hmm. And I remember like feeling sad about like, you know, like that would have been like so cool. Like that would have just been like so different to like have, you know, someone here to like grow up with me.
Right.
It was lonely at times, but from what I remember and from what everyone tells me, I always kept myself occupied and always like, you know, learned how to play with myself really well. But I definitely felt, you know, I'm a Cancer. I'm very nurturing. So I'm like, I was always finding things to like, yeah, Nova's a Cancer too. And always just wanted to like nurture things. I don't think I think Doom's phone might have just died.
Yeah, it did.
If he comes back on. But his question about, you know, if I had assumptions about y'all, I don't think I had, like, I think overall I just felt insecure. And I think I just felt scared that, like, y'all weren't going to accept me, that I wasn't going to be enough, that I was going to be so white that, like,
you thought we were going to be like, ooh, she weird, like, ooh.
Yeah, because the like black spaces that I had been in just totally rejected me, and it was like I wasn't.
Well, you do got some black in you, girl. Don't be doing all that.
I know, but it was like, you know, I was told I was too black for the white girls, but then I was too white for the black girls, and so then it was like,
you got a cat behind you.
I did. She just jumped up. You ready to say hi?
Hello, I'm scared of you.
She's a sweetie. But yeah, it definitely, I didn't have any assumptions about what you guys would be like. I just had this assumption and this thought in my head of like, they're not going to like me.
Right.
Yeah, like right off the bat, like that's what that wall was. That wall was just like, they're not going to like me. Like, so it's probably better that like I just stay to myself and they're not going to want to get to know me. So then I was like wrestling with that of like, oh, well, like she really wants to get to know, like she really wants to like spend time with me, but I don't know. That wasn't what I was like anticipating. So it was like, yeah.
Well, it was hard to be a sister because you didn't know how to be a sister at the time. And then, you know, like, oh my God, you thought we were going to be like, oh, she weird. No. Yeah, but I'm telling you, before it was 3 strikes and you was about to be out of here. I was telling them, like, I was not beat, like, I was not for it. But I'm happy that you actually, you know, accepted it. And then you let me meet you. Like, you know, that was I couldn't stop talking about it when I came back home. I was so excited. Like, what? I was so happy. I
wish we would have had more of that.
Right. Like,
see, I didn't even know. I wasn't even like, I don't know. Like, did she even like being here? Did she even like hanging out here? I knew you liked Ian. I knew you liked my man, but I was like,
my bro right there because he was cool. Like, you were just being on like, I'm like, bro, let's go have fun. Like, what's up? Like, that's bro. Like, it was like, as soon as I came in there, it was just like, and it was just like, yeah, I know I'm going to like it here.
Yeah. Well, good. That makes me happy. I'm glad that you did enjoy it and that you did have fun. And I mean, I know even for...
Remember I made you a kiss underneath the mistletoe?
Yes, you did. Girl.
Your butt on the camera.
Lily, she wants attention. But Doom, I answered your question about...
Doom is probably not coming back in. His phone probably dead.
He's on.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, he's on.
Oh.
But I answered your assumption question, and I didn't really have a lot of assumptions. I just felt like I was assuming that y'all weren't going to like me.
Right.
I was assuming that. What's your face? Yeah, that you weren't going to like me.
Me?
Can you put your headphones in or fix your phone? Because we can't hear you.
I can't even see him. There y'all go.
Oh, because he's charging. He can't speak.
Right.
But
I know.
You should grab you should grab a different phone. You should grab Evan's phone and hop on the Zoom from that phone.
But
something. But basically, yeah, that I didn't have any idea of what y'all would be like, except y'all probably wouldn't accept me or like me or think I was too white. And then I think that just really fucked me up because then you were like, whitey. And then I was like, oh, see, it is true.
No, but it wasn't like that. It was just like, oh, you little whitey. Like, oh, I really got a white sister, y'all. Like, I was like, ooh, wee.
Like, what did that like mean for you?
It was just like, ooh, bitch, I got a white sister. Like, I don't know. Like, I just always like, I don't know. Because I had a white friend. I had a white best friend and stuff. So, like, you know, but just to have a sister, I'm like, oh. I'm like, I know she's probably smart. I know she's probably a little geek.
A little bit.
Sure, you're a little smarty.
Sometimes with some things, other things. Like you ask me questions about math. I don't know jack shit about math. I'm not smart at math. Words, decently smart.
Right.
Doom, I can't tell. Sorry.
For the most part, it was, you know, I was good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm about to leave. I'm about to go outside.
Yes.
I love y'all. Thanks for having me on the show.
Of course.
And, you know, stay in touch.
Yes. You were supposed to call me this week. And
I was, but that's when the situation.
Oh, true. Yeah.
So I was thinking to myself at the table. I was like, I'm supposed to call my sister. I said, I'm just going, wait.
Yeah. Well, call me this weekend if
all right, love you.
You've got space. Love you too. Bye.
All right. See ya.
We only have a few minutes left, but wanted to give you a chance to respond to
that's cool. I
the assumptions.
When you said that, I was like, what? Like, but when did I talk to you though? Because I was talking kind of like really like specifically me. So it was probably like 2016 or something, like 2017 before I met you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably 2017. I don't remember. I guess we did first meet in Iowa.
Yeah, that was our first time really meeting in person. Yeah.
So yeah, I think because we had spoken prior, I just remember like when I first started talking to you, you were just so sweet. And I was just like, he's such a sweet kid. Like, I was just like, oh my God, he's such a sweet, nice kid. I don't really think I was expecting to end. Yeah, I think as a whole, I thought everyone would dislike me. From you specifically, because we had already talked, I was just like, he's just like so sweet and like calm.
Yeah, I ain't never really like look at you with no type of like bad views at all. I just was like, since I was little, I was ready to meet you. So I was always pretty much knew I was going to come at you like that, how I did.
Mm-hmm. What was that like for you when we did meet? I was recently off of Paradise when we met.
It was famous after that. So we had our time to talk, but then again, we had our significant others at the time with us. Mm-hmm. So that I feel like we could have met by ourselves, but it was still cool though. But I was like, damn, like my sister really popping because we got motherfuckers like, oh my God, that's Taylor Nolan and Dirt. I told everybody how our first meeting went. That shit was funny as hell. Like I didn't expect that.
Your white girl voice right there.
No,
I'm dying.
That shit live in my head rent free. Like I'll probably never forget that day. They was like, and then the girls, they were like, "Oh my God, Derek!" Remember they was in the car. You just start laughing. It was like 3 girls in the car. I don't know how the fuck they knew Derek. And then you just bust out laughing. Like I was like, "What the fuck? What's going on?" Like y'all really popping. Like I didn't know how big, you know what I'm saying, y'all was. Like as far as like, you know, your celebrity. That shit crazy. That's ABC though. Everyone watch ABC.
It was a weird time for sure.
I tell everybody how that shit went. Everybody laughed just how you did. Everybody actually take pictures. Like so. Then they remember they looked at me and Princess on the other side. They was like, "So who are you guys?"
Yes.
Yes. I'm like, we about to have to do this every time. Like, tell her my sister. I think that's what I said. I was like, tell her my sister. Yeah,
and they were like, really?
Oh. Yeah, they was blue. They was like, they ain't give a fuck though. They said, well, can you take a picture? Remember, they wanted to take pictures with just you and Derek. I was like, damn, can we have dinner?
Oh my gosh. We've never actually talked about that, but yeah, that was, and that was weird for me too, because I'm like, it's a weird point in my life. That's a weird thing to have happen, right? And then I'm like meeting you for the first time where I'm like, oh, fuck, like, ugh.
I met you after you, like, do you consider yourself a celebrity or famous? I don't want to put that out there for you. Some people let it, they hit, you very aware of that. That shit, I wouldn't know what to do with that. Like, if I was on Bachelor Paradise, that shit, you know what I'm saying? That's neither here nor there, but.
Yeah. But I mean, what did that do for you of like, you're meeting me for the first time and there's these people saying all this stuff and like doing, like asking for pictures and all this stuff. And you're like, you've waited since you were young, being at Grandma Hilda's house, seeing these photos of me. And now that was like our first meeting.
That shit was like, I had to just process like, my sister famous. I never really, I don't think I have no family member that's like famous and at that point, or to other people, because you said you don't really claim that term. So like being a star in other people's eyes, like real big star, you know, that shit. I was like, damn. So what happens now? Like, I kind of thought about it on my own time. Like, is everybody gonna try to dig into her? Because you know what I'm saying, you wasn't really like open with your other side of the family, like, you know, you took your time with it and respectable. I was kind of wondering, like, is they gonna try to, like, you know what I'm saying? Since I would see like your social media activity, like it's a lot of people on you, so I kind of worried for you, like, you know what I'm saying? Not like, you know, nobody's gonna do nothing to you, but like, how is this about to go? Because I knew eventually, like, they're gonna like try to get to know all the things people. They try to pull people cards and stuff, like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, I remember like Rob, my chosen father, who I talk a lot about, before going on the show, he was very concerned about Joe and was kind of like, oh, well, do you think like that side of your family is going to come out and, like say things or whatever? And I was like, I don't think anyone's going to say anything about anything.
Yeah. It wasn't like a whole lot of process. It was I had a good feeling about it. Like, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Like some people like my sister a lot, some people don't. Cause I would watch the show, and you know how they have the little side talk and they say their little bullshit about. I'm like, oh, that bitch! Oh, she talking about my sister! I'm like, that bitch! I did not like that. Anytime the other people come at you, because you're my blood, I don't let people that I love, or my blood just get messed with. I mean, I ain't no violent person, but I'll definitely stand up for my people.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit fucked me up.
A little like Papa Bear coming out there for you.
Yeah, I don't like that. Yeah, but for real.
Ever seen you like that?
Yeah, nah, because even recently with the little situation they saying about your tweets, I was under. You probably saw it. I don't mean to. I don't want to tarnish your reputation any kind of way. But I just was on your Instagram. I seen all these people saying these things, and you don't owe them shit. You really don't owe these people nothing. Like you on your own, they doing their own thing. You don't seek their approval. They shouldn't be seeking yours. You know what I'm saying? So that shit it bothered me a little bit. But that's just what comes with the things that you have signed up for. Mm-hmm. So
I know don't read comments. Rule number 1: don't read comments.
That's what the famous people do. And I see it all the time. Like when I watch, like, say a rapper interview, they be like, I don't pay attention to that shit. And I'm like, my sister up that alley, like, she don't even care about that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? They just not mad. They ain't at your point. That's pretty much why I had to look at it. They mad. Motherfuckers be mad.
They're mad because the things I said hurt their feelings, and the things I said were bad and were wrong, which is valid, right? Yeah. There's a lot of lessons in all of this that I hope you can take away from me. Yeah. But, I don't want you to have to see those things. So I hope you just stop reading the comments.
Yeah. I'm trying not to get into it too much. Yeah. Mm-hmm. I love you for you. Whatever you choose to do in life, you a grown woman. That's just what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, anything else that you want to share or ask in terms of like siblings? Any other last thoughts on that? National Sibling Day?
I love all my siblings, from my mom's sister to my dad, all my dad kids. I'd probably say I had the most time with each of us, and just getting to know them, we all like just a little bit. Just if it's like, whether it's mannerisms, mm-hmm. appearance, you know what I'm saying, character, personality, we all are like as one. I can't wait for the day that we get all like us, our kids, whatever kids we have, and you know what I'm saying, mm-hmm. we are a tree, so you know what I'm saying. That shit gonna happen.
Yeah, I agree. Well, thank you for sharing and coming on here with me today to talk about all this.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Gang. Hell yeah.
Oh, my gosh. All right, that does it for today's episode. Thank you so much for making it all the way through and keeping your ears, your hearts, and your minds open. It would mean so much to me if you could take a second or two after listening to this episode to leave a review on iTunes and let me know what you're enjoying about the show. I love reading, what your favorite episodes are, where you guys listen, and definitely feel free to share this with a friend. I mean, part of how we break down the stigmas around these topics is by talking about them, right? And sharing them with more people. So definitely share the podcast. And again, really wanting to include all of you in this podcast. So if you have questions or you want to share a thought or an experience, please send in a voice memo to ask.letstalkaboutit@gmail.com. And I'm really excited to keep having these conversations and breaking down these stigmas. So thank you all so much. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll talk to you next time.